Speaking of urgency, how's practice been so far?
Practice has been good. I think it's probably the most quality of depth that I've had since I've been at Ole Miss, which leads to great competition, which leads to accountability. I always tell my guys that if you have to be externally motivated, there's a ceiling to how good you can be. There has to be an internal fire. It has to be a drive and a focus, and I think competition brings that out. I've seen that with our team. Practices have been very competitive because guys realize we're fighting collectively, but we're also fighting individually to try to carve out your identity as a player.
Coach, can you talk about your seniors, especially the front court?
Well, it's the most experienced team that I've had the opportunity to coach at Ole Miss. I'm bringing back three seniors that are all pivotal players in the development of our program, starting with the most experienced front line in the SEC returning, and Reginald Buckner and Murphy Holloway, two guys that have been there, done that. All league caliber players that I need to take the next step and become all league producers. You mix in a Nick Williams, who's a fifth-year guy, transfer from Indiana, now been in my program 4 years. Nick's already graduated. Diligent worker, really put a lot of time and energy into transforming his game, transforming his body. Had a good junior year for me last year at around 12 a game in SEC play, and played really well for us in the SEC tournament run, which got us to the semifinals. Nick's a guy that I know each and every day I'm going to get an honest day's work. He's a worker. He's put himself in position, I think, to have a great senior year.
Coach, talk about, we know it's night in, night out, the battles of the SEC, but talk about the importance of your non-conference schedule. You have a holiday tournament mixed in there. What you're looking to see as the team builds full conference play.
Well, all games count the same, one win, one loss. And, as we approach the season now, we're about 2 weeks out. I'm anxious to see, how this team forges its identity. We've got challenges for us. The Big East SEC challenge is right around the corner. We've got a Rutgers team who I think has got a chance to take the next step forward under Coach Rice. We've got them coming to Oxford, and it's very, very important, as you well know, to protect your home floor if you're going to have any hopes of advancing to postseason play in college basketball. We've got a troublesome two-game swing as we go to Middle Tennessee State. Kermit Davis, a friend of mine, is coming off a terrific year, all-time wins in the history of MTSU, and we go into their building early December right after finals. Then on our way to on our way to Hawaii, we stop in California and play Loyola Marymount, which will again be a challenge for our group prior to heading to the Diamond Head, an ESPN event, which is loaded from Indiana State, who we open with, a very respected member of the Missouri Valley, to a San Diego State and an Arizona and a Miami and the host Hawaii, obviously. So there's a lot of quality opponents in that tournament. We know we're going to be challenged and have great opportunities leading into league play.
Coach, talk about the league as you see it now. I know we're sitting here in October, but now 1 through 14, your view of the league.
First and foremost, as a coach, I look at 18 league games. That's challenging. You have a bad weekend, it could knock you from the inside to the outside. You have a bad week, your season could be over. That's the mentality that you have to get kids to understand, and that's easier said than done. It's an 18 game grind. Now that we've gone to 18, there are no off weeks. We're playing every 3 days. You've got to hope that you can stay healthy. You got to hope that you can stay focused, and you got to grind out wins.
Hopefully your depth will show it.
Oh, I certainly, because the reality is it's inevitable. You're going to have a cold here, a turned ankle there, and that's where quality of depth can help you sustain some of those things, which in the past we've had a hard time doing.